Hi there, and welcome back to Founders Journal. Now today I want to address a question. I sort of expected it, but now I'm getting feedback that people think maybe I'm selling out. Am I selling out to the government, selling out to the bank? And the answer is no, not in the slightest. My vision has not changed, and the end goal of ENTIFY has not changed. The end goal is to set everyone free. But how do I do it? How do we do it? Let's have a reality check. The reality check is this: ENTIFY is still pretty much just me and my ideas. But we have got real technology. What really exists is Nicholas's technology, BChat networks. We really do have a radio mesh communication system, totally decentralized. We really do have this Ethereum tag, this ability to tag anything and connect it to a blockchain. And this is what got me started. When I saw Nicholas and what he's invented, I realized he had solved the final problem with blockchain. So then it's taken a couple of years to work out what do we do. And also reality check, yes, we have got Vodafone, a privacy-first mobile phone with decentralized cloud storage. They've done it themselves. So we have got the foundational technology. It exists. The question is, what do we do with it? So for me, that has not changed. And I know it does look like we're being compliant. Yes, we are. We're working together with the government and the bank. Only to a degree. Remember, the end goal is to set everyone free. It is still the end goal. But for that to happen, ENTIFY must go global. It must integrate with what we've got. And I've talked about this before. I did a video called A Trojan Horse for Freedom. And that's still the case. You see, the problem we've got with ENTIFY, yes, we've got decentralized chat. Yes, we've got this Ethereum tag, this ability to prove every user. If we hold a card, it proves that is a real living person. But it's still not enough. And again, we've got this tag, so we can prove ownership of a car, prove ownership of a house, and all of that will be tagged and linked to a blockchain. So that's done. That's perfectly possible. But the problem was, we cannot tag a car, we cannot tag a house and prove ownership of it because we don't own it. Now this is where the Sovereign project comes in. So after a couple of years now discussing and learning and working with the Sovereign project, how can we make this happen? Again, in the beginning, we had to learn it because I want to tag a car and prove I own it. I can't do that. I've got the technology, but I did not have the law. The car, we don't own it. It's owned by the state. Literally, you sign the documents of the car and you've signed over ownership. Your house, you don't own it. It's owned by the state, the land registry. So how do I tag a house, tag a car and prove ownership? I've got the technology to do it, but the law will not let me. So we had to integrate the law to make this work. And again, the problem is, okay, we've got this card so we can prove we are real living users on the blockchain, but still we have to prove our identity. The same problem. The government, the state has given us an identity and we don't own it, we don't control it. So I have to integrate the law. And in order to make this work, and I mean really work, we have to get it out globally. It must be mainstream adopted. How do I do that? It's a big, big problem. So now I found a way. And remember, I've done a video like this already, which I called A Trojan Horse for Freedom. You see, on the surface, it now looks like ENTIFY is compliant. So some sovereigns, they don't like that. Now you're working with a bank. Now you're using the government ID. What are you doing? Selling out? No, I'm not selling out. Remember, in order to go global, it must be mainstream. And in order to gain true ownership of everything and true ownership of our identity, so in order to be able to use the law, to be able to use the bank, in order to go mainstream, we must be able to use the bank. Otherwise, it's pointless. What can we do? We can have crypto, but we still cannot even have crypto. Crypto is so highly regulated. If we use cryptocurrency, we still have to go through the bank. We still have to go through regulation. So we can do ENT tokens. If we could have only ENT tokens, that we could do. But how long is that going to take to be adopted? It's just another crypto. We have to find a way to gain mainstream adoption. That means working together with the bank. If we work together with the bank, it means we have to work together with the government. So we cannot appear to be anti-establishment. Now, it doesn't matter, because the long-term goal really still is anti-establishment. And real sovereigns will understand that. You see, and again, it's a Trojan horse for freedom. We look like we're doing what we're supposed to do. It must fulfill all regulations so that the government cannot complain, the bank cannot complain. And the plus side of that is we can get a bank account. We can use crypto, no problem. But deep inside ENTIFY, when we create the identity vault, that is where the freedom is going to happen. And it's all to do with what we write. See, the identity we have to create, first of all, is an affidavit, lawful. So the lawful creation of an affidavit is the most powerful. It trumps everything. But it's not compliant for the bank. So then I realized, okay, we must add on the KYC, bank compliance, your birth certificate name. But when we use the birth certificate name, we use the facial recognition, we are privatizing it. So it is like we're giving the bank what they want. We're giving the government what they want, but at the same time, taking it away. Now, this is where we have to be very, very clever to maintain our ultimate goal of true freedom. So when we create our identity, we have to work together with the sovereign project, with the real lawful and legal experts. So we produce the affidavit that will copyright everything, and we also produce the KYC, our government required authentication. But remember, the birth certificate name is a corporate identity. And when we put that KYC in, we have to create some very clever wording. So even though we are using our birth certificate name, we gain control of it. There is, again, I have not got this wording yet. But once you have that, it's going to be very clever, because now we're compliant, but we've taken control even of our government identification. And in the long term, what it means, once we go global, once we gain 1 million users, and again, they must be authentic, trustworthy users. That's why I've gone back to the beginning. The first thing must be the identity vault, not the communication. Okay, communication is great, but we've already got it. You've already got Telegram. Everyone's using it. I start another chat, it's just another Telegram. Not much difference. The only thing that makes ENTIFY unique is this ability to create a perfect authentication identity. But the beauty is, if we can create this with the right lawful and legal wording, we gain control of our government identity. And in the long-term goal, once 1 million people have got this, then it will only take a small team. Within ENTIFY, we will have a team from the Sovereign Project. The Sovereign Project, for example, building a team. We sit down, a team of lawful legal experts, and we work out what to do, how we can then push back against the system. Because we got numbers, imagine we have 1 million users, and 1 million users have all got this lawful identity, an affidavit, plus they've got the legal identity, but they have gained control of it. Remember, a Trojan horse for freedom. Then a small team of people can push back against the state and set everyone free. Now, exactly how that's going to happen, I'm not sure, but we have to set it up so that it can happen. And let me go through it for you once more time. Look, I went through it last night once more to clarify what would happen. You see, again, I'm making it exclusive because we have the technology to prove every individual user, but we must also prove those users are honest and trustworthy. That's difficult. That's where the law and the legal come in. So now I've got the solution, but the end goal, people that join ENTIFY will have a lot of benefits, and they're sovereigns. They've got privacy, so you can still do what you like, but you must prove that you're honest. You're not going to do obvious criminal activity. You know, you're not going to do money laundering. You're not going to do gun running. You're not going to do, I don't know, drug dealing, whatever. None of that can happen. But a true sovereign is not going to be doing this stuff. A true sovereign just does not want to be under the control of the government. That's all. They want their freedom. So the ENTIFY user benefits. This is what you will get. So number one, you will have a private, self-issued, lawful identity. Your real identity, not the government's. Now, it's yours. That is the foundation. It's still the affidavit is the foundation that takes control even of the government identity. You need this first. And everyone in the sovereign movement knows that. In order to do anything to push back against the state, you must have an affidavit as the basis of your identity. You can go to court with that. You can fight for your freedom with that. But without it, it's difficult. You can't do anything. So ENTIFY, automatically, everyone will have this. Number two, you will have real anonymity without risk. You see, this is where you must have the legal. ENTIFY provides legal and lawful anonymity. And that means nobody can complain. Number three, you will have the world's first anonymous lawful bank account. There's no other way to get into the bank. There's no other way to get crypto. It's so highly regulated. If you don't do the legal, the KYC, they will just assume we're criminals and you won't be able to do it. It's a big problem and it won't go global. ENTIFY will just be a small little niche thing. We need to go global. Number four, automatically we will have protection from state overreach. Once you've got this, it will protect you from bank seizure. The bank can't close your account. Court-ordered asset freezes. The court cannot take your stuff. Credit score systems. You'll be outside credit score. Taxation-based identifiable personal accounts. Your account will not be on the taxation records. It's in a private trust, but perfectly legal, perfectly lawful. You see, ENTIFY cannot say, join ENTIFY and you won't pay tax. No, can't say that. But tax is to do with your personal legal identity. Now, we're provided the legal identity, it just so happens it's now private. So at least within ENTIFY, you're outside that system. It gives you protection from digital ID surveillance. You see, we're still having the digital ID, but within ENTIFY, it's invisible. You still got it, but it's invisible. And central bank digital currencies tracking you. You're in the system, but outside the system. It's very clever. Number 5, you will have asset protection through the allodial reserve. It gives you a secure place to store your deeds, gold, and valuables. It means, again, you're untouchable. You can have these things, provably yours, and you will have the law and the legal confirming it, but it's now private. You will have private communication, completely anonymous, but unlike other anonymous dark networks. You see, ENTIFY chat is private, but not criminal. Because you've got an affidavit, that's real law. No one wants to do any harm. It has to be the case. But you will have no bots, no scams, no criminals, no tracking, no data retention. You see, we've got private chat like Telegram, but how do you know in Telegram whether you're talking to a criminal or not? Whether you're talking to a scammer or not? You can't. This is the whole point. ENTIFY must be a safe space. We must guarantee everyone on there is honest, true. They want your best interest. They want privacy, they want sovereignty, and they don't want to scam you. They don't want to cheat you. 7, sovereign economic participation. You can do a lot now once we do this. So put simply, let's put this very simply. ENTIFY doesn't comply with governments. It uses their own rules to protect you from them. A Trojan horse. Your data exists, but nobody can access it. Not even us, not even ENTIFY. Your trust structure is lawful. Your KYC is legal, but your identity is still anonymous. You get the benefits of participating in society without surrendering your sovereignty. Again, this is the Holy Grail. No one has been able to do this. Government surveillance requires visibility. ENTIFY makes you invisible by design. Your identity becomes something you own, not something issued by an institution. So, this isn't escaping the system. No, it is stepping above it. So it is very clever, it's very new, and it's cutting edge. On every level, this is cutting edge. You have to bear with me. I'm trying to do something very difficult, very clever, and it has to go the distance. Like I said, we have to go global with this. It has to be so appealing, millions of people adopt it. And they might not fully understand it, but they're honest, they're sovereign, and they're willing to create their identity to enter. You see, it's a sanctuary of trust. If you want to enter the sanctuary, you must prove you are trustworthy. You must create your affidavit. And your KYC, the government identity, you must provide it if you want finances, if you want a bank. But remember, it's in the wording. Once we provide our KYC, the wording is going to be so clever that really we're giving the government the identity it wants, but at the same time, we are claiming ownership of that identity. So we're using the government's KYC, which is what they want, but at the same time, taking it away from them. It means once you enter ENTIFY, even the government cannot do anything with your identity. Anywhere else, they cannot do anything because you've claimed control of it. And if they try to use it, You will have in your identity vault all the lawful, legal proof to go to court and fight for your rights. Now, only the sovereigns who are expert will know how to do that. Most people won't. But like I said, the sovereigns are creating this paperwork anyway. In ENTIFY, it will be done, proven on the blockchain, and now suddenly everyone can fight. You will have the tools to fight for your freedom. And then once we've got millions of users, suddenly we can do something powerful. Look at it like this. The government, the state, wants to watch us all, wants our identity. But we're saying, yes, okay, we'll give you the identity you want, but we are privatizing it. ENTIFY is a private company. It's not a company, it's a private trust, but it's private. And we will be the first company, it's not a company, but say a first private company that will offer a digital ID. And it's perfectly compliant with the government. So the government can't complain, that's what they want, but the government ID is not very good. Ours will be perfect, so they can't complain. We will be able to say, you want ID? Here's our ID, it's better than yours. And the day will come when we can push. We can actually push back and say, listen, government, you want all our ID? Well, look, we've got it, ours is better. You must let us use ours. And then your ENTIFY, your Enti card, will be a passport. You will be completely anonymous, but when you go traveling, you just touch your Enti phone, boof, go through. Any country, anywhere in the world. But they still won't know who you are. No, they can't take your fingerprint, no. Can't take your face, no. You've copywritten it. But they shouldn't need to because I've got my Enti phone. Touch my Enti phone, boof. No, you don't need my fingerprint. No, you don't need my face. It's here, it's proven, and we've won our case. We've taken this to international court, I don't know. Then it's game over. The end goal has not changed. I have not sold us out. Please don't think that. No, but I must be compliant. And this is where it's so clever, because once I produce the white paper explaining full disclosure, everything we're doing, ultimately I'm going to open source it so everyone can see everything we're doing. Government cannot complain because we're providing everything they want. And the sovereigns can't complain because we're providing a true, lawful, self-sovereign identity. It gives them power back. It's a delicate thing I'm trying to do. And please bear with me, give me a chance. It's going to take time. And really, it's still only me. It's still only me trying to work this out. I've got a few people on the team. We have back and forth chat. I've got the Sovereign Project. We have back and forth chats. But only I can see this full vision and I can see what I've got to do. And you have to bear with me. I may chop and change a little bit, but I think I'm getting closer and closer to a real workable system that could go global. And if it goes global, again, just quietly, it goes global, nothing much happens, no one complains, but one day, once we've got 1 million users, 10 million users, we can buy land, we can claim land. It change everything. The end goal is still the same. The question is, what steps do we have to take to get there? So, in answer to some people's questions, am I selling out? No, quite the opposite. But what I'm doing is very delicate, very clever. And I've got to be very careful. So, thank you so much again for listening, and stay tuned again for the next episode in Founders Journal.